Harry's a product of the Royal Aero Club, learned to fly with this organisation. He gained his commercial licence here. He joined Transwest in the 1960s and was very fortunate in the fact that Transwest progressed through the aviation industry, taking over company after company, and Harry ended up their chief pilot and ended up flying some very sophisticated aeroplanes. Eventually he was flying overseas for Sabina, wasn't it? And came back to Western Australia and flew for Qantas Link here. But in his early days, Harry flew the Islander, and he's going to tell you something about what it was like to fly an Islander and to keep it on track during one of these fire burns. So over to you, Harry.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Brian. I actually flew with Brian when we were both learning to fly at the same time, so we're still good mates after all these years.
45?
45, yeah, I guess it is 64 now. Yeah. Well, Roger, having met you the other day, I just want to correct one thing in my mind. I looked up my logbook after I went home, and I categorised my aeroplanes into what is best and what wasn't, and the Islander is certainly not on the top of the list. Gavin Green was my instructor. What a wonderful bloke he was. You know, I started commercial flying in '67, and in summer of '72, '73, I got asked by the company to go down to Manjimup to do a season of aerial fire control in an Islander. And the Islanders were new to Australia then pretty well. The first one that came out here, somebody might be able to help me on this, the registration was Echo, Quebec Echo, and it was the one that won an air race from England to Australia. And even though it's slow, it filled up the back of the aeroplane full of 44-gallon drums of fuel, so it never landed anywhere. Anybody remember that race at all?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what it was the name of, but...
Neil Rears was with him.
Pardon?
Neil Rears did that race.
Yeah, oh that's right, it was too, yeah. So I did my endorsement in Kalgoorlie in '69 on the thing. So. Anyway, going to Manjimup, what a nice town, full of nice people and interesting stuff. The Islander was certainly a good aeroplane for the job, in that being so slow, flying so low to the ground, or to the tops of the trees. I remembered, I don't know why, but the aircraft could, if you lost an engine on one side, the aeroplane would stall before it ran out of asymmetric control, which is pretty unique in a two-engine aeroplane. I would get out of bed in the mornings, there'd be a phone call to tell me to get ready by a certain time. I'd get picked up to go to the airport, then I'd be given a map of where we're going to. I'd have to draw a track and distance, work out fuel, all that sort of stuff. And they'd have a weather report, and then the navigator and the operator of the equipment would turn up. And so on the map we had this, the flight lines. So and I'd be given a speed and a height and sundry other things, and away we go. And particularly important, of course, was the direction of the wind. This is the aeroplane. I got this off the net. I don't know how old this picture is, but it's got this with the right registration, so not the same colour scheme as the one we had. Ryan's drawn this for me, the correct position of the three people on board, and that's about it for that. Forests all have, from my memory, just small areas, all bounded by roads, and so there'd be a specific piece to do. It's not all, hardly ever rectangular or anything easy. And as you can see, the vehicles, they had the non-directional beacons, the NDBs that the pilot fraternity call them, low-powered ones, and the aircraft was equipped with a single instrument, a dual needle ADF, and that's it. We just when everybody was in place, we'd get told, as per Roger's speech today, and you can see the wind blowing. We'd always fly across the wind and gradually go into wind. That's to keep the smoke away from the work. Looks pretty fast, doesn't it? But anyway. and there's the depiction of the capsules going out. One of the things I made sure of was making sure where all the fire extinguishers were, because the mere fact of these things, as soon as the glycol is injected into the capsule, a short time later it was going to catch fire. And I just, I hate the idea of everyone getting stuck up there. I believe Roger's said that there has been one. The smoke going away from the area, and that's all working very good. And then after the aircraft has crossed the bottom beacon, then the next vehicle can get into place ready for the next line. And the aircraft would then do that turn that Roger described. Well, I don't remember being in much trouble with my machine. And so then away you go back to the next one, and so on until the job is completed. It looks very simple on there, and it did work fine, unless other things took place. There's another depiction of the navigation of the aircraft, and it was very easy because with an RMI instrument with two needles in it, as long as the needle's in the centre, you knew you were on track. It was very good. For considering the day, each day in those days was fairly new. In light aircraft it was anyway. And as you can see there, very easy to see when you're off track. By which stage the navigator is supposed to have a go at us. So that's a depiction of it there, so it's pretty easy. That's about all. The only real dramas that we had in my time was when the wind changed, and then you had to make a decision whether you could keep going or not, and that was dependent on sorry, not dependent, but the pilot had the final say on that, and that happened a few times with us. When you're just above the trees, there's no point in trying to see through smoke, it's just too damn dangerous. So the guys on the ground would just have to pack everything up and I guess help put the fire out and go do it another day. Other times when there's been a massive bushfire, and I remember there was a huge one down there, the aircraft was just taken over by the guys who are in control of the system, and we'd use it as an airborne control platform. I remember one, this fire went for 3 days before they could put it out, went through farm properties and all that sort of thing. Anyway, that's my little show. It was an interesting time. I only did it once, one period of summer of that year, and never did it again. Thank you.